college. It was the summer, you said the summer after your freshman year.
Yeah, yes.
It was that word portion. And I do find that interesting because I think that's why we see so many of these accounts on social media where some of them talk about portions, some of them talk about just looking at the nutrients themselves. I always hear this thing called and because this is what actually helped me understand food more is clean eating. We don't talk about portions, we just talk about your protein, healthy fat, fiber, and greens, and that's what you want on your plate. And as long as you get all four of those on your plate, then you're doing that, you're satisfying what your body's craving. So I find that interesting that your dietitian or your nutritionist almost um recognized that you're like, she can't use that word portion because that's triggering you.
Yeah.
um so how did she kind of you made it through freshman year, how did she kind of guide you for your sophomore year with food?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'd been working with her that summer, and then I was really nervous going into my sophomore year, with food and like kind of like doing it on my own, since I didn't really do it like my freshman year at all. But I'd been working all summer, and she was reminding me, like I said, like we've been doing this all summer. What's best for you. And I knew that I was like very, very knowledgeable about how my I had a routine, let's say. I built a
Yep.
very, very stable routine for myself. And I was able to take that and bring it into my sophomore year. Um, and it was very successful. Obviously, like there were some
Mhm.
days where the eating disorder thoughts were a little bit louder, but I was finally able to just focus on navigating those eating disorder thoughts instead of like also like having another stressor of like the food, is this like good? Is this healthy?
Mhm.
Like is this I finally had a really, really, really great relationship with food, and um I was able to do 3 meals a day with two snacks, or not two
Nice.
snacks, like with plus snacks,
Hmm.
which snacks used to be like my enemy, and now I'm like a big fan of snacks.
What
Um,
snacks did she recommend you eat?
yeah, so she has this saying, and it's good, better, and best.
Okay.
So when we look at foods, we don't look at them like, oh, well, this is super unhealthy. Like if we think of or we see a food, we're like, that's like maybe really, I don't know, like high in sugar or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
Look at that, and it's not bad to eat, but maybe we could find something better, or think about what's the best thing that we could eat right now. Even if it's not going to be perfect. And that was something that I was really struggling with. I needed everything to be perfect. And sometimes she still has to remind me that it's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Completely, it's not even existent. So,
She took
snack,
you out of this no
yeah,
mentality of just
yeah,
saying, stop saying no and start understanding what is just like I was going to say, what is good, what is better, and what is best.
yeah, yeah,
She's teaching you how to understand food.
yeah, yeah. And
Hmm.
I had never, like, again, like, I had never, even my whole family, we had never been this, like, knowledgeable, like, how we are
Yeah.
now. So some snacks were like, I would do like granola bars or fruit with like peanut butter. She always encourages me to do like high protein snacks,
Okay.
especially because I was, still going to the gym and stuff. So, like those protein snacks, like maybe a beef stick with a
Mhm.
side of fruit or something. Like we always talked about like pairings. Like what can we pair with this to make it better?
Okay.
And that's kind of what I still say that in my head when I'm like plating my own foods, and um now even cooking for myself at school
Mhm.
now.
I was gonna say, I was like, you're
Yeah,
probably gonna get into cooking. You're gonna find a
yes,
hobby that you're gonna
yeah,
enjoy. Because I got into cooking and baking with just the
yeah,
stuff I'm finding in food and how it's reacting on my body. I'm like, you're gonna find a hobby with this.
yes. That I'm glad you said that because we did I don't even know what it's called. Oh, we did like a mineral test actually to see how certain foods like kind of like or like I don't know, like reacted on my body or something. Like
Oh
I was
yeah. Hmm.
kind of able to see like where I can get a little bit more like I don't even know how to really describe it because I don't understand it completely.
Yeah. Is it like a test where to see how is it a blood test?
It was a hair sample.
Oh, as a hair. Okay, so maybe
Yeah.
seeing like how the minerals are almost like reacting with your body, see what you need more
Yes.
of
Yes.
in
Yes.
food and maybe what you need less of. Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting with the hair follicle, but
Yeah.
that does make sense because it's how your body's absorbing.
Yeah.
Okay. What were some
Yeah.
of the things you found?
Yeah. So I found so much information. There was like it was actually really interesting. We did like a whole appointment dedicated to like going through it and trying to understand it. It's still a little bit confusing, but um we found that like some of these like minerals and stuff like can actually have a play on like anxiety and can have a play on like your skin and how like hormones and stuff like that. Um, so you found like some of that information. I had actually had really bad hormonal acne, which could have been related to possibly like a mineral imbalance and stuff.
Yeah.
So after that, I got a lot of like mineral supplements and stuff to kind of help with that like to get me back to like a good mineral like balance. I just remembered it. We also looked at metabolism and stuff and like what that really
Okay.
means. Metabolism can actually have like a really it gets kind of a bad rep because people sometimes think that it's like if you have a slow metabolism, you're fat, or if you have, that's always
Right.
my thought. That's
That's
totally
me
right.
too. Yeah, the skinny ones
Yeah,
have the high
yeah,
metabolisms. Yep, you're
yeah,
exactly right.
yeah. So we looked at my metabolism and actually had like a slower metabolism, but that actually does not mean anything about your weight. It's just kind of like how your body like process takes in that food and it I don't know, or like it kind
Yeah,
of has
just how it
to do,
processes and breaks it down. It's
yeah,
just
and
it's yeah,
yeah.
okay. That's okay. That's interesting.
I know
Yeah.
it's probably not worth
I mean,
this.
you learned a lot of stuff. That's the thing. And you're
Yeah,
trying to like, it'll be like years down the road and you're going to experience something. You'll be like, that's what that
yeah,
means.
yeah, yeah. I'm. It sounds so much better coming from my dietitian.
Oh, I bet.
Um,
Well, we're gonna put Amanda, you said she's on Facebook, so we'll put like her
yeah, yeah,
name and like connect to her in case people,
great.
since you
Yeah,
were so able to connect with her so well, um
yeah,
if
yeah,
people want to reach out to
yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
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 we'll put her information in the show notes.
yeah.
Um let's go to really quick. So you're obviously, like we've said before, you're going to be living with this for the rest of your life. You're obviously going to have triggers
Hmm.
when you encounter all new like stepping stones, when you're done with school, when you move, when you get married, have kids, all of that stuff. So when it comes to like eating disorders,
Hmm.
obviously it does not discriminate against genders, it does not discriminate against ages
Hmm.
whatsoever. What would be, based on your experience, some early signs that you could kind of navigate to the listeners and be like, if you are noticing this, just stop and do something because it's
Hmm.
not right? Like,
Yeah.
what would be some examples that looking back,
Hmm.
and you may have said them already, and we're just going to kind of circle back.
Yeah.
But yeah, what would be some that you could help listeners, because they a lot of people here are moms. We do have little kids. Some of them have
Yeah.
older kids in college, to help kind of just guide us.
Yeah, no, 100%. I would say, some early signs are mostly gonna come from thoughts first. I would say, that's just speaking from like my experience. It's probably gonna start with more of like a thought on, body image, if you're experiencing like a lot of body image thoughts and body dysmorphia, and you're constantly saying, I'm really fat, I'm constantly, I just feel like I could lose a few, and so I feel like that's sort of the start is, that self-conscious, about like your body. That can be like a really, really hard thing to like stop talking like that about yourself and stuff. So I feel like that's like a big start. And then another sign I would say is like constant or even just like thoughts of like I'm going to stop eating just for a little bit and then I'm going to come back and it'll be fine. Because it's the exact thought I had as well. So I'd say like definitely looking into those, starting with the thoughts first. That way, you could like grab them at those thoughts and say, I need to stop and tell somebody about this. About like thinking that you're fat or, very
Mhm.
self-conscious about the way that you look. That is like a huge thing that is like really, really hard for a lot of people. And I think that's something that I just wish that could be stopped so much
Yeah.
easier. So I would say definitely those thoughts, possibly early signs of, I would say like more like rigid, like working out, like I said,
Oh, you start
you're,
to see like a routine starting to
yeah.
change. So maybe like, yeah, for like oneself that oh, you were working out maybe like 3 times a day or yeah, 3 times. Well, that would be the problem. 3 times a day. You
Yes.
went from three
Yes.
times or like
Yeah.
4 times a week to
Yeah.
3 times a day because obviously you have this goal in mind, but you're
Hmm.
going so far into it. So yeah, you're right. Like the thoughts are there, but now that may not be something that like a friend or a sister or a parent can see. So
Yeah.
then going into for what others can see when the routine starts to
Yeah.
change.
Yep.
That could be because like what is causing that routine to all of a sudden change out of nowhere? That's interesting because people always jump to the food part. But honestly, like you were saying in the beginning, the food part was actually a few steps down the road.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
by that point, someone's already almost a little, like probably midway almost in
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
So that's interesting. Yeah, thoughts and then routine. Okay. That's really good information because I feel like, you know, anorexia has been around for so long, but everyone always, like we just said, jumps to the food part, whereas it's other things that can really can start it and can
Right.
hopefully get it fixed. How would you describe to somebody who is so fixated on what they see on social media? Because that's the hardest thing to get rid of. So, if your parents knew kind of what you were looking at with social media,
Hmm.
how would you have wanted them to react to that? It's not, I mean, it could be just taking the phone away. And obviously, you said
Yeah.
this, something like this is going to lead to arguments and
Yeah.
it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
But for the one that's struggling, that doom scrolls on social media that it's like, well, this person looks like this. How
Hmm.
would you tell them, be like, this is what you need to do, or this is going to happen?
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely wished that I could have just deleted it. And it's still something that, um, I find really struggling with myself too is sometimes I slip into those like comparing.
I was going to
Um,
say, is that a trigger? I was going to ask what next, what are your
yeah,
triggers? So
yeah,
you already
yeah,
said that's a trigger right there.
yeah.
Okay.
So comparing
Hmm.
to people out in the world that I don't even know, and also comparing my old self to how I look now is sometimes something that I really struggle with. Um, like before the eating disorder even happened, sometimes I'm looking back in the past and thinking, of all those comparisons and what I could do different, but I have had so much help with Amanda and my current therapist, it's actually can be a really, really powerful thing when you like stand up right then and there and like, I don't know, like attack it right there and
Yeah. Hmm.
just like delete the photo. Delete it. It can be a very hard thing, but it feels really, really good after. So I would say, like deleting social media or even having like a time limit put on it. Because sometimes those
Oh,
doom
that's
scrolling,
interesting.
that's when you're doing the most comparing is when you're
Hmm.
on there for hours. But it's such a hard thing because it's so popular and everybody's on
I
social
know.
media these days. Like I can't just say delete it because it's not that easy, but um I would definitely say like even setting boundaries for yourself. Maybe say, I'm gonna go on this site for just 10 minutes and then I would put it down and do something else for the rest of the day. I would say definitely avoid doing it at night. It's
At
like
night when your body wants to just calm down.
yes, and you're like you just want to relax and oh, nothing
Mm.
better to do than look on social media and because that's when I found myself doing the most comparing was right before bed,
Okay. And
and
that's the last thing your brain is thinking about. So
yeah,
obviously, you don't want to say that's what you're dreaming about, but it actually ends up it's
yeah,
in your brain, um it's what you're going to be thinking about.
right. Because then,
That's good.
I would wake up in the morning and I would still remember what I saw the night before, and then I would try and act on it. Um, and so, yeah, social media is like, it's really tricky.
We
It's really
don't
tricky.
need it. I'll be honest, we
Don't,
don't need it.
we
Because
don't.
let's be honest, I would have met you without social media. That's
Yeah,
the thing. I
yeah,
would have met you regardless. So we really don't need it. Yeah, it's a way to connect. I've
right.
heard of tons of my friends who are like, I just deleted. I
Yeah,
just got rid of it. And if I could, I would, but I kind of run a little business off of it.
yeah,
But no, you don't. It's true. You don't need it. And I think the algorithm, yes, it's a tough one, but it's you can change your own algorithm. You for
100%.
sure can change it. Some apps are harder than others, but
Yeah,
I like it's and I almost think about it because when you're approaching and when you're going into an eating disorder, I like this one app called Lemon 8. It's through TikTok, but you can tell it the topics you want to see. And it will
yeah,
only
yeah.
show you those topics. So
Mhm.
if you're constantly being triggered by workouts, by what people look at, don't look at that. How about we just look at what do you like to sport you like to play? You can tell the app that. So yeah, it's social
Yeah,
media will be
yeah.
around, but maybe it's more or less finding the app that best suits your life
Yes,
right
yeah.
now.
No. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because, TikTok, you
I
can't
hate that
control
app.
really, you can't really control what goes
No,
on your For You page and stuff. I actually
the hard
just
one.
recently deleted it for a little while this year.
Mhm,
It was causing me a lot of problems like with that comparison. And
mhm.
I was able to just from my knowledge and stuff, I was like able to just say, this is not something that's good for me right now. And I
Yeah,
was able to just stop it right there and delete it. Um,
that's
so
good.
yeah, that's a really great like point. I didn't even like think about like
I found it. Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'll have to check it out because I'm always open to like things like that and
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I found it because with mine, it's like if I post this stuff on makeup and skincare, so it shows me
Yeah.
that I use it mostly for recipes, so it really shows me that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it seems to, unfortunately, it's gotten a little bit AI heavy. Everything is
Yes.
right now, but
Yeah.
I do, it's like you said, it's finding the balance when you're one in the recovery, but if you're noticing anything, because we're observant, all of us are observant these
Right.
days, much more, I think, than what we've been in the past. So once you
Right.
recognize maybe what is triggering, how can I get away from it? Um, yeah, social media, maybe those hacks may help somebody, something I've just yeah, kind of noticed. Well, let's finish this up. And I always ask every single guest this, and do not overthink. I think everybody overthinks this
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Go with what your gut is telling
Okay.
you.
Okay.
But if you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be? And then same for your future self.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna try not to overthink. I don't want to be like other people. I would say for my younger self, I would say don't stop being who you are, or like don't forget who you are. Um, and then for my future or for my now self or
Future self,
future
future.
self,
Yep.
that's a little bit harder because I don't know who I am in the future yet.
Right. You're still discovering.
I would say future self, I'm proud of you.
Those are
I'm proud
strong words.
I'm proud of my future self because, I don't know, I'm just proud. I don't
Mhm.
know.
And that's
Just proud of
simple. Yeah,
just proud of
absolutely.
my
Be proud of what you have overcome, what you are continuing to get stronger every single day, and you can only go up from here. So that's, I mean, that's all you have to say. Yeah, just be proud of, you're proud of who you are.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, okay, so where can, if people want to reach out to you, where can they find you?
Okay, I would say I'm mostly on Instagram.
Okay.
So the Instagram or sometimes Facebook. I'm not on Facebook a lot,
Okay, so
but
mostly Instagram.
mostly
What's
Instagram.
I'll put your handle in the show notes, but if you can
Yeah.
just say what your handle is here.
Yeah, so it's just Mary Claire Dorinsky, one
Well, it's
word.
easy enough.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
kept it really
super
simple.
easy. So again, like if you ever forget my handle, it's just my full name. So
Well, fantastic. Thank you, Mary Claire, for being a guest. And
thank
you
you.
had a hard story to share, and I could still sense the emotions that you are going through, but what you have overcome, honestly, in a short period of time and how you recognized it, the support of your family is just, it's really incredible. And I know your story is going to touch a lot of people because there is light at the end of the tunnel. There absolutely is. And you've probably learned more than what you ever thought. And I love how you want to take this into your career
Yeah, yeah.
and just be
Thank
there to
you.
help
Yeah.
others.
So much, for this opportunity. When I first saw you at that fitness class, I was like, after
Right.
you told me, I was like, oh my God, I've got to do this. Not even, it's just something I want to do, and I'm really, 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 really excited to hopefully be able to help people who are struggling with eating disorders into my future career, and even just knowing and thinking about that this might be helping somebody is something I can't even describe how much it means to me. So thank you so much. I don't even know. I have so many. I could say thank you for hours, but
Well, and
uh,
I love it because I yours is, and that's why it's one of those things I created this podcast because there is so much more to your health than just your physical. It's your mental, it's your social, and what you went through encompasses all of that. So, and I cannot share that. I haven't been through it. So, yeah, I created this to bring people on to help people. And your message, I can guarantee you, is going to get heard all over the world.
Yeah.
And you will touch, even if it's one single life right now, that's all you need to do is to touch one person. And it's just going to go up from there. So, we will, I am certain, once you're done with college and you go to the next level, you're going to be learning so much. So we can obviously reconnect. You are welcomed on this podcast whenever you want to. If you're like, I just went through something, I want to talk about it, by all means, reach out.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
will definitely keep you updated, after college and
good.
with my career and stuff. So,
Well, perfect. And we're not far from each other. We're in the same state anyhow. And you
right.
and, and your parents are like right in the same county as my parents. So we're
Yeah.
not far at all. Well, I'll let
Exactly.
you get back to your beautiful vacation,
Thank
get to
you.
the beach, enjoy the weather. So thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Fitness and Family Podcast. If you haven't already, make sure you follow, tell everybody, tell your friends. We will get this episode out there and I will talk to you guys later. All right. Bye.
Thank you.